Morning, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Man Monday. I'm your host, Mr. Mountain Man. Today is July the 26th, 2021, and this is live stream episode number 83. I want to welcome everyone who joins me live this Monday evening and might be watching on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel later. And as always, this live stream and others are available under the live stream playlist. Once again, I want to welcome everyone new to this channel and existing folks that come to the live stream every week. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. It's hot, thick, muggy, rainy here in the mountains, but what do you expect? It's the end of July and it's summertime. And speaking of end of July, I can't believe it's the end of July. The summer is tootling along. I can't believe how quickly it's been going by. We're almost to August. By this time next week, it's August. And yeah, it's flying by. Before you know it, we're going to have articles in the news and notes for the week talking about the leaves changing in the mountains. And then we'll be talking about Christmas again. I don't want to rush it forward, but it is almost August and time flies. Maybe time flies when you're having fun. The old cliche. Always having fun here on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel. One thing that's throwing me off a little bit tonight, although I kind of like it, is the StreamYard here is using a new font, and I kind of like it. It's a little more refined. It's a little smoother around here. It looks a little fancier, a little fancy Mountain Man Monday live stream, and everybody's chats over here look a little different too. It's a little easier on the eyes. Who is first across the gate tonight? It is Foxy Wolf. Monday, so good to me because that means Mr. Mountain Man will be going live and bringing us the news of Western North Carolina. Yippee. Well, I got two things to say to that. First off, let's get the hammer and the pose. Great to have you here, Foxy. And also, that's a cue to Monday, da la, so good to me. Yeah, that's a great song. Mamas and the Papas. You guys don't have to listen to me sing. Living Like Larry, who has been here, there, and everywhere. Larry has a new video from the lighthouse in Michigan. Good evening and happy Mountain Man Monday. Yes to you as well. I hope you are doing well. Great to have you here. Mr. Carlos, good evening, Mr. Mountain Man, and everyone else, you as well. Let's see. We got AZ Rock here saying howdy, hello, Mr. Mountain Man, and to everyone else. Glad to have you here. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. It's Christmas, like Christmas in July. Right. Well, some people do that. They have like movies in July, like Christmas in July. There's some other things, it's not as, I remember people used to make a big deal about that, but I think honestly what's happened, I could be wrong about this. Here's my theory. I always have a theory. Already getting to work out on the old vocal cords today. I was at Walmart and I took myself out of focus. Not at Walmart. There we go. Magic. All right. I was at Walmart. I was getting some stuff in the barbecue section. And I noticed it's starting to thin out. The fertilizer is on clearance. I said it was the end of July. A few years ago, I took a picture at Sam's Club, not the same as Walmart, but they're owned by the same company, on my birthday, mid-August. And they had Christmas decorations out. And so the whole Christmas in July thing is kind of weird because about 3 weeks from now, somebody's going to be speaking first across the finish or the start line, the start line, the first person across the start line to be dumping out Christmas decorations and making room for it. That's why patio furniture will go on clearance soon and a lot of other stuff. I can't believe I'm saying that. Summer officially on the calendar goes all the way until September 21st. So we got a lion's share of the summer we got still going on. I mean, it just turned over June 21st a month ago. So we got a lot of summer left. But as the kind of the culture goes, when school starts and the fall starts, it's kind of associated with September kind of getting into the fall. So even though it officially starts later in the month. So yeah, I think my theory is that the Christmas in July is not a thing anymore because it used to be like, oh, it's so distant. We're halfway through the year kind of, and Christmas is all the way out in December. Well, not anymore. Now you have Christmas decorations a month later. So I think people kind of get fatigued from Christmas sometimes. I mean, it's a beautiful holiday, but it gets, it gets to be a bit much when it's done for 6, 7, 8 months or the entire year. Hey, Rita's here. How are you? Asking me. I am doing well. How are you doing? Nice to have you here. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Nice as always to see all the familiar face or the regulars. We got the regulars group here. Um, Foxy Wolf is doing well, making it could be worse. I say that sometimes too. People ask me like, "How you doing?" I'm doing all right. Or I'm making it. Some people used to say a while back at work, um, they'd be like living the dream, and stuff like that, kind of sarcastically. But I tell you, it's most of us, we have a lot to be thankful, food on the table, roof over our head, things of that nature. There's worse times in history to live and places in the world. So we really, really am grateful for, that for me, a Monday night means hanging out with you all on YouTube doing a live stream. That blue shirt really shows off your blue eyes. I appreciate it. I noticed that sometimes I can see them right here. People used to make fun of me when I was in school, like middle school and stuff. They would call me like bug eyes, maybe. Was it bug eyes? Because I didn't really understand the concept of big eyes, but I remember my mom telling me I had big eyes, and people would say, "Wow, you have big eyes." Big eyes. What are big eyes? You can big arms, big legs, you're tall, big head, whatever, but big eyes. I never really understood, but I guess it literally is like, just a large presence of the eyes. But I think it's kind of cool to have big eyes, really. It kind of accentuates the face. So, yes, and I appreciate it. This is believe it or not, this is it's kind of a dark gray, but it's shining blue with the light a little bit. So that's pretty cool. I even brushed my hair for you guys tonight and everything. So, I got to get all fancied up for this. The audio and video is looking good. Thank you for the report. I appreciate it. I went through and played, disciplinary around the house to say, well, not disciplinary, but like telling everybody, get off the internet, please. I'm starting the live stream. So happy to be here. Let's see. Hey, we got Big Daddy here. Hello, everyone. Hello to you as well. Let's see here. Yeah, Larry is validating that they're taken away from it by bringing it in too early. Christmas, Christmas has, there's the religious, foundations of Christmas, its real origins. And then there's the, kind of the secular pop culture, celebration of it. And obviously, just the commercial side of it. Charlie Brown and Peanuts, they always joked about it. Christmas is becoming too commercial. And that was back when those movies were coming out, even in the 60s and 70s, those cartoon movies or shows. So yeah, it definitely, companies milk it for everything it's worth. So yeah, it really, I don't prefer to get into, if I have my druthers, I really don't. Maybe I'm like probably a lot of people. I really get into Christmas the day after Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Kids love Halloween. They're already talking about it now. What costumes are they going to have and all that kind of stuff. Love summer, for what it is. So for me, like, buying a Christmas tree and a fake one, at Home Depot in September 20th, that's I mean, I don't know. That just seems out of bounds to me. So really, enjoy Thanksgiving Day, being with family, eating, watching Macy's Day Parade, like that. And then often, many years, 4 out of 5 years, the day after Christmas, which is Black Friday, also a shopping day, but is the day to decorate the house. That's a lot of times. So yeah, it does dilute it. I think bringing it, take away from it, dilute it, however you want to say. It's unfortunately, it does that. You would look strange with little beady eyes. Some people, I guess, look cute with it. Every once in a while, you see somebody that's got, small eyes and, I guess, all different shapes and sizes. So, but yeah, no, I think the lighting and stuff helps. They were right. It's too commercial now. Yes, Peanuts. They were visionaries. They saw into the future. Even back then, it must have been already. I mean, think about one of a Christmas classic, a great fun movie at Christmas, The Christmas Story. When they go to the mall and there's the big line to see Santa and it's all the hubbub of shopping and everything. Listen, I get into it. I enjoy it too. But yeah, anyway, I shouldn't even be talking about this much. It is July, not Christmas time. I was just thinking to myself how quickly it is. And literally, my birthday is August 17th and I remember walking in Sam's Club one year on the 17th and there were Christmas decorations, the big kiosks that you can tell that they weren't decorating at Sam's. They just roll in these pallets and they had all the chocolates and the wrapping paper and the stuff like that. I bet you guys will quite enjoy Dollywood at Halloween. So I have to get educated on that. I have to get educated on it because when we were Disney World annual pass holders, Halloween was always an additional ticket. So you already paid for your tickets, but you had to pay extra in order to be to go to any of the Halloween festivities. I don't know if Dollywood does that or not. We don't typically pay the extra ticket because I don't know. It's never been that. But if it's reasonable, maybe we will. And maybe I'm talking about something you guys don't even know about because it's no different and Dollywood just does it regular. I really got to get up to that house. Which house was I talking about? Goodness, I'm sorry. I just talk so fast. I don't know which house that was. Larry, remind me what house. I'll be like, oh, of course I know what you're talking about. Sorry. I was just talking about the pretty color of your blue eyes, not the size. They don't look large to me. Well, I guess the irony of it was that kids made fun of it, but at the same time, I guess it actually is like an attractive feature to have like big eyes. Some people say it is. But it took me a while to recognize it. So now I appreciate my big eyes. The Christmas Story house in Cleveland. Thank you. Yes. There's a lot of channels that do that, like on location, where things were filmed. And like Adam the Woo, I guess he goes to a lot like Back to the Future, and he did like National Lampoons. And I don't actually watch all his videos. I've watched a few that come up on my feed, but yeah, Disney milks you for everything. It's all included at Cedar Point. Okay, yeah. So Disney, the reason it was a separate ticket, it was called Not So Scary, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. They actually would give you candy. They had the park was limited. I think you could wear a costume. You're not normally allowed to wear a costume in the park. Or maybe they still had the same rules that if you're over 14, you're not allowed to wear a costume because it's like a security factor. But yeah, so Disney, it's Disney. I mean, if you look at it from a standpoint of supply and demand, I think back to like economics in college and basic principles of supply and demand. There's very little supply of the physical theme parks of Walt Disney World and a lot of demand, and they can do it. They are not shy. They use price increases to control crowd populations because the park, gets at capacity and gets just super busy when the economy is good and things are ticking. So I guess Adam stayed the night at the Christmas Story house not long ago. Speaking of staying at a place, random thought, but staying a night at a place. Did you guys see that? Because I've talked about this before. I used to work at Blockbuster Video while I was in college. I was a manager there in the heyday of VHS and DVD rentals when there'd be a line around the store. There's one Blockbuster Video left. It's in Bend, Oregon, and it still exists today. They continue. It's such an interesting story. Like Viacom, I believe, owns the rights to Blockbuster. I might have that wrong. But anyway, the lady who owns the store every few years has to hold her breath to make sure she can still use the name. It's Dish Satellite. They bought Blockbuster. Dish did because they were going to, at the time, roll Blockbuster into the Dish offering. And, before Blockbuster went defunct, thinking that it could take off, it certainly didn't. They did fold, but they still own the rights to the name. So she still has to get permission from them every few years to continue to use the name because there are no corporate owned Blockbuster stores anymore. Anyway, the Blockbuster store that's in Bend, Oregon, you can actually rent it for the night. and they have like a bed and a TV, and you can watch any of the videos in the store. And it's just kind of like nostalgia, kind of like old school, just something unique and fun to do. If you haven't seen, there's a slew of documentaries in the last 5 years on that last store. It used to be that there were a few stores up in Anchorage in Alaska, and then the one in Oregon, and then the ones in Alaska closed. They couldn't hold out, and now you've got this one in Oregon, and people drive from all around the country. Now it's like a quasi museum. But in order for that store to make it and continually make it, people got to rent videos, because you can't just come out with money in thin air. But apparently I saw in the video she makes like little last Blockbuster ever little bracelets at the counter and shirts. And so you can kind of monetize off of that, make some money off of merchandise and such, your video rentals. The people local in town still do it. Anyway, it's a real fun thing to take a look at if you haven't seen that before. Oh, this is talking to Foxy. Okay. Trying to get into the Netflix model, probably. Yeah. This was in one of the documentaries. That's why I'm closing my eyes. I'm trying to remember whenever Dish bought them. Yeah. So probably like circa 2010, 12, 14, somewhere in there. And then it just didn't work. Yeah, anyway, I remember when I stopped working at Blockbuster, I was so happy, but because standing on my feet all the time at that store. But now I look back and it had some memories about it. This this past weekend, or yesterday, I guess, because today's just Monday. I'm holding the old lucky Mountain Man Monday twig here. The plan was to go to Mount Mitchell and grill out. And Murphy's Law has always got to be there, that the weather was a factor, because it's been raining a lot. It's been getting hot. It's kind of like Florida these days around here, that the afternoons were getting dumped on and it gets real thick and the clouds build up and then it rains. So they were calling for like 60% chance of rain, taking the kids up there and all the grill stuff and everything. I didn't want to go up there and then get rained on. So we decided to go over to the outlets and get some clothes, some summer clothes, because they're on clearance, and kind of get ready for our beach trip next month. And what do you know? It really didn't rain yesterday. I ended up cooking out home. You'll see the Instagram picture, but it just stunk, because I told my wife, I said, you know what? We go up there, it's going to rain and it's going to ruin our day. And if we don't go, it's going to be sunny. It's just one of those things. It's hard when you're not nimble. Like if it was just my wife and I, we could be a little more adventurous. But when you got all the kids, you can't do that. You gotta be smart, because it can be a real mess and a pain in the rear. So we didn't make it up for that grill out. So we kind of called an audible. I got some stuff done in the garage yesterday that have been lingering for months. I have some, actually I put a picture on my Eclectic Handyman Instagram channel. I hung up these NASCAR race used tires I've had for like 25 years. Real race slicks from Michigan International Speedway. I had bought eons ago, and they've been in my garage for 25 years sitting. I always wanted to make a coffee table where I took two tires, put them sideways, and put a piece of glass on top. And I never did it, but I hung them up in the garage finally. And anyway, and I moved some stuff around. I got a new Craftsman cabinet and all this other stuff. So I got some stuff done, and then I did a quick workout at the gym. I did legs yesterday, and then we went to the outlets, and then I cooked out at night. So, and then Saturday I got some stuff done around the house too, and went grocery shopping and did some other stuff. So yeah, anyway, the weather is a real crapshoot this time of the year. It's tough. It's a gamble. You want to go out and do something, because the three places we thought about going to do a grill out was Smoky or Metcalf Bottom Park, which I have 1.5 videos on that. It's in Pizza Putt Putt in the park, and then I have an actual video. So over there in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, love it there. Pisgah National Forest, which is a little hit or miss because it's so heavily traveled in the litter and stuff like that. I think I told you guys about the person who brought the dog last time, the girl, and that jumped on our table. I think I told you that story, right? When we went to cook out, that was crazy. And then the third place was Mount Mitchell, which tends to be pretty peaceful. A lot of people go up to the summit, but not a lot of people that I've seen use the facilities to grill out and stuff. So I'm like, we gotta go Mount Mitchell. And and it just was a bust. So poo, that stinks. And I wish I could have, I might have done a video. I kind of was like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I'll make a short video to double up. It wasn't the purpose, but I probably would have done one. So anyway, that fell through the cracks. Let me know how your all weekend was. Let's see. Yeah, that twig looks like it has arms and a head and a body the way you just held it. Yes, it does. This thing, speaking of blue, you can still see that blue and green. I saw one comment from Larry that the Netflix with the mailing DVDs. Yeah, there's another great documentary that's about Netflix, and it was on Amazon Prime, not on Netflix, believe it or not. It was like the history of Netflix. A good portion of the back half of that is about Blockbuster's competition. A lot of people think that, yes, Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, but that wasn't ultimately their demise. It was poor leadership after John Antioco left Blockbuster. The CEO from 7-Eleven came to run Blockbuster and just didn't do it right. And kind of that's the consensus on what ran Blockbuster into the ground. Not that yes, it's a very, very interesting fact that Blockbuster could have bought Netflix for like, I don't know, $10 million or $5 million. But now, that's history. Let's see here. We had a big storm last night and it looks like it's going to rain again at any time. Yeah, it was cruddy looking out all day. Like it was lightning about 5 hours ago and storms and stuff like that. It looks like you had better grilling weather this weekend. Well, okay. So yeah, no, last weekend with the ribs, it was raining. And then this weekend, again, it was just a bust because we wanted to go and it didn't work out. It is still 88 degrees here right now. Yeah, Foxy, I hope you getting some of this rain. Some of my buddies that live up in Minnesota, they said they're in an extreme drought right now. And so there are parts of the country. I always say, you guys see those Holiday Inn Express commercials where people get real smart because they slept there. My Holiday Inn Express sleeping overnight meteorologist thing. I think when there's like a high pressure system, see, low pressure is volatile air that causes storms, but high pressure keeps things away. My guess is that there's a high pressure system sitting up there in the middle, upper middle part of the country, probably keeping it super hot and muggy. So anyway, I could be 100% wrong on that. And so I am totally just trying to draw my experience on that one. You remember the dog story, AZ Rock? Yeah, it was crazy. Just somebody young. I actually think it kind of turned my wife off to it because it was like yesterday, I was like, well, we could go over to Pisgah, National Forest, because it's only half an hour away. She's like, I don't want to go over there. I mean, it wasn't actually that cranky, but it was like, no, I don't want to go over there. And I meant to ask her, but yeah, you guys all remember the story. So like the first time we went there, like the overflowing dumpster and that road there I'm probably giving you guys a bad impression because it's a beautiful place, like sliding glass and Looking Glass Falls. And I have a motorcycle ride through there. Then it goes up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I mean, it's beautiful. It goes back to all these things that we have on this channel. That if you made an analogy for Asheville to the mountains, as is Gatlinburg is to the mountains, in Gatlinburg, everybody goes over there past the sugar. Why am I having a brain fart? The visitor center. Anyway, I even have a video from there. The Sugarlands Visitor Center, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, everybody goes over there into Cades Cove. The analogy for here is usually a lot of people from Asheville go over to Brevard and Pisgah National Forest. There's a lot of hiking. There's water. There's all those kinds of places. So you get a lot of population that goes over there and they just wear it out. And I actually have a story on that tonight. I saw a video today of an albino deer. It was strange looking. Yes, we have albino squirrels here, or white squirrels, but not deer. We have a lot of deer by the house. I was up, looking at one outside the window a little bit earlier. For all of you here and those on the sidelines, I like that sidelines. Please make sure you hammer the thumbs up and make Mr. Mountain Man proud. I appreciate that. Yeah. I talk about this from week to week. First of all, thank you, Foxy Wolf, for putting that. I'm humbled always in putting that. Um, I definitely, I I would. I've said this several weeks now, and I'm only seeing 6 people are here right now, but it doesn't matter. It's not totally about the quantity, but I really do think that people would enjoy this live stream, but I just don't think I'm getting the exposure on YouTube. I think it's mostly my subscribers word of mouth, and I don't know if people are dropping in, and I'm just I contemplated a lot because I put enough, I mean, not too much, but enough thought to say I want to be entertaining, I want to be enjoyable, and I want people to have a good time here. I try to keep it dynamic, new topics. I come up with, talk about new stories and experiences and things going on. Lively and to be interesting. I think interesting is the key word. Interesting and entertaining. Those are important. And I am just not getting the exposure on YouTube. And I think the thumbs up is an important part of that. The thumbs up is telling YouTube, Mr. Mountain Man is interesting and entertaining to me. Somebody else might think so as well. So, again, this journey for me has never, been about any kind of career or anything, mega serious. But I do think people would enjoy this. Maybe it's a bad time slot. I would be interested in anybody's feedback. I am so not, resistant of constructive criticism. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm kind of in my DNA to kind of take feedback and, understand like, well, your news and notes, are boring, or, your format, where you sit in that room, it's not interesting enough behind you, or your jokes aren't, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's just, it is a little interesting, the ratio of subscribers to people who attend regularly. It's, I just don't think that my live stream shows up on people's suggested list in their curated deals. So I don't know if anybody has any feedback, and I know a lot of you have been extremely positive, and I'm so humbled by that. But it would be pretty neat if, because what's neat when we get new people too, by the way, is we get new perspectives. So somebody says, "Oh yeah, I've been to Pisgah National Forest," or "I've never been to Asheville before. What's it like?" Or maybe we're talking about Blockbuster or grilling out, or one of the tangents I go on, or something about NASCAR or family or beaches or Disney or the 100 different topics we always talk about. We can get that. So, hold on a second. Sorry. You guys, if you've never seen me before do that, it's because my hand gestures or something take me out of focus, and it does that. So anyway, back to Foxy Wolf's comment here. I'm very appreciative of the thumbs up, and I'm starting to appreciate it more because of, again, I think it's the means to, it's not, I think it is the means to the end to tell YouTube to indicate to it that, that people enjoy it. So thank you very much. I look into the camera, I say, thank you. And I appreciate it. I have gotten a little bit of rain. Thank goodness. Yes. Droughts are not good for a whole host of reasons. It could be anything as small as people grow their own tomato, plants and their beautiful flowers and their grass in their yard, to farmers that actually need, money for a living, to the danger of forest fires and all kinds of stuff, and rivers and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys are not in like a severe drought. We have an albino buck a couple of miles from here, Rita. Seen it one night while driving home. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Again, we see a lot of things around here. So here's the things we get around here: turkey, deer, squirrel, fox, bears, a lot of different kinds of birds, obviously. We don't get elk where I am specifically. You do get that over in like Maggie Valley, Cherokee, stuff like that. What else do we have? Thankfully, none of the really nasty critter stuff. I mean, I've heard there's snakes up on the mountains and stuff like that. We don't get a lot of that, so that's good. Oh, Larry said, I thought I was seeing things, but my wife saw it too. I wish you could get a video of that. I love it here, and I appreciate it. I know the regulars here. To be honest with you, I got to be real honest. You guys are enough. I really mean it. I just would enjoy it if there was other people that got to enjoy it like you do and maybe love it as well. That's why I'm trying to send people your way. Problem is, I have the same group, not a problem, but to help you. Yeah. It depends because the community that, funnels through, it depends on how it comes. Like, again, being in a kind of an eclectic hobbyist and interests of mine on YouTube, I have a lot of different streams, that I get involved or I enjoy, I should say. From cars to the house to Disney to history to Steelers, weightlifting. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And it depends on what community you kind of circle and spawn out of. Like this community here in the mountains, it would be fun to like plot a map of like all the cool channels, that are in this like tri-state vicinity. And then who extend beyond, like the Living Like Larry and such, in travel in general. So yes, there are a lot of people. And some of the travel channels too, I've noticed, it can be very transient. So people will use travel channels as a excitement avenue or in preparing for a trip to said location. Like I'll see, maybe if, being out of Western North Carolina, people be like, oh, if they knew about it, I'm going to subscribe to Mr. Mountain Man so I can watch his videos and get prepared for Western North Carolina and see all these neat places. And then when the trip's done, the nostalgia ends a little bit, but they still might stay subscribed, but they don't participate in the channel a little more anymore. I do see that with kind of centrally located type travel channels that can happen. It's not only, and then you get the people that travel. Then there are some like in the Disney realm. And even if you guys aren't Disney fans, just listen to when I talk about Disney. I use it as a reference point because of the popularity and success that people have with YouTube regarding Disney. Disney, people are such life fanatics about it, lifetime fanatics. They can keep people, whether they are not going to Disney World for 5 or 10 or haven't been in 20 years. That sells itself on its own. But some of these type places, like say I lived in Myrtle Beach and I was like the Myrtle Beach, YouTube channel. Maybe people would subscribe to me when they're coming to Myrtle, they'd enjoy it. But then, they don't go to Myrtle for another 5 or 10 years. So they stop coming to the live streams that I always talk about Myrtle Beach, kind of stuff like that. But Larry, I appreciate it. Thank you. Tip of the cap for that. I didn't know you had albino squirrels there, Mr. Mountain Man. Yes, we do. We get the white squirrels on the trees and stuff, and it's really cool. I try to snap a picture, but you know how it is. You're like driving in the car, you see one plain as day, but you don't want to snap it or you're stopping, and it can be kind of cumbersome. My number one live stream is Mountain Man Monday. I wouldn't change a thing. They will come. If you build it, they will come. What movie is that from? By the way, I have to answer the quiz question. Don't let me forget. I'll do that in housekeeping. Larry, I'm humbled. I appreciate that. Of course, I do you say that to all the live streams? So, but no, that's very flattering. I really appreciate that. They are in Brevard. Look them up. They're so cute. Oh yeah, you're making me remember. Brevard has the White Squirrel Festival, I believe. I've not been to it, but they hold a festival sometime of the year. Actually, instead of guessing, I'm going to look it up since we're on the internet. Yep, White Squirrel Festival. It's in Brevard, and it takes place Memorial Day weekend. And I don't think they held it this year because it says permanent close, but that's not the White Squirrel Festival. Yeah, May 22nd to 24th, 2020 in downtown Brevard honors some special wildlife critters, the white squirrels. These are not albinos, but siblings to the gray eastern tree squirrel. This particular species made its way to Brevard in 1949 as a result of a carnival wreck in Central Florida. On that train was an elephant named Dumbo. Dumbo could fly. No, I'm just kidding. No, everything I said up until the Central Florida part was true. Interesting. Yes. Oh man, look at the pictures here. I'm not sharing my screen, but if you see the festival, it's packed. Here, I'll drop the thing in the chat here. I know I'm a little bit behind on the comments, right? Okay, maybe at the end of your videos, you need to remind people that you have a Monday night live stream. I could do that. Thank you, Rita. Remind me. I will. Yes, remind folks. Please remember every Monday night I will be on. Yes, thank you. That's a great suggestion. I will look them up, and I bet they are cute. Yeah, check out the link. Hi, all. Can't stay long. I have to leave at 9:30. 2 minutes. I barely. I'm so sorry. Thank you for stopping by. Well, not 2 minutes. You put that 6 minutes ago. So. But I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday, Kentucky girl, and everything is going well for you. Hey, Hope Faith, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday as well. Oh, I finally got to see the lightning bugs again. Yes, June is when we see them the most around here, and July. I saw some in July as well. Speaking of the place where I talked about Pisgah National Forest where we grilled out. I'm going to do a video from there sometime too. And I'm glad I didn't that one time because we couldn't get the charcoal lit and it was kind of a pain, crazy. I have lighter fluid now. Pardon me. I have lighter fluid now. But that night when we were leaving, I stood outside with the family. I'm like, guys, just stop and look. And it was like lightning bugs were everywhere. It was really, really cool. I see 15 people watching now. I believe we get so involved in making comments. Sometimes we forget to thumbs up. Yeah. And I really appreciate it. No, anybody who it does that. And, again, I see some folks jumping in here. So I want to welcome everyone to the live stream. And I hope everyone that's here on the live stream is having a great start to their week. A nice Monday, is enjoying your summer. I know it's hot and muggy everywhere. Let us know how you're doing. And Hope is asking for prayers for me and the family. Absolutely. Continued prayers for you and your family and some of your extended family and friends. I know that have had some struggles there, Hope. Lightning bugs are not as cool as the animals you all see. No, I admit, I'm very for it is pretty cool. Like turkeys, believe it or not, you see them a ton in the fall, like when you should for Thanksgiving. But I did see my first batch of turkeys 2 days ago. I saw what I assumed to be a mom turkey and like 6 like little kind of kid baby turkeys. They're cute. I mean, I don't know if I've ever posted some pictures on Instagram, but when I will get some pictures of the turkeys and those little turkey babies, they follow the mama and it's really a sight to see. Let's see. A little bit behind on the comments. Your subs are still growing every week. It looks like though. Yeah, I think I average like a sub a day, which hey, is not bad. We had a nice influx of folks to the community through a few of the videos that I had done, and so it was very grateful to have those folks. And grateful for everyone. It would just be, again, fantastic for folks to join us and just see the good time that we're having here on Monday night and some of the great conversations that we get involved with. And it's a lot of fun here every Monday night. Like as always, yes, Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you have Mount Man Monday, they will come. And so, yeah. You do not know if you get more people, you have to stay on longer to read all the comments, right? Well, so one tactic I could use for that is like when we get into a conversation about a given topic, what you can do is, first of all, I don't have that problem right now, but what you can do is if a set of people or certain people make very similar or repeated type of comments, you obviously can read one and get the gist of it for a community of people. So maybe it was like the Netflix or Blockbuster conversation. And, you can, if everybody says a lot of the same thing, you read one or something. But anyway, I don't have that problem right now. I can read all of them. And yes, Field of Dreams. That was the quiz question. Looks like Larry got it first and Big Daddy got it second. Interesting side fact. The statue of Walt Disney holding hands with Mickey. Originally, Walt Disney was holding a cigarette in his hand in the model they used for that statue. That is an interesting. I will also tell you a funny story. I think it was 2008. Back then, President Obama had gone to Disney World to make a speech. I think it was 2008. Maybe it was 2010. One of those years, early on in his presidency. He went to Walt Disney World And he did a speech with that statue you're talking about in the background. It was back a ways. And obviously for security, because it's the president, you got to have everybody cleared out. And there was nobody, and they did all this stuff. He gave the speech and he's smiling and stuff. And he turns around. That statue, Mickey or Walt has their hand up and he's holding Mickey's hand. And president turns around and he sees that, but it's, it's 50 or 100 yards out and he waves. I think he didn't know it was a statue. And I saved that little clip. I thought it was genuine. I nothing to poke fun at. It was actually hilarious. I think he realized it was like, oh, that's not obviously there could be nobody behind him right there, but I think it was instinct, to be polite, like, oh, hey. And it's like, oh no, that's Walt Disney statue right there. So yes, I know that statue that you're talking about. Are the white squirrels protected or no? I do not know that. That is a good question. I don't know. Mr. Mountain, I gave a lady a flower emoji. I give ladies a flower emoji. What would be appropriate for guys? That's a great question. Let's think about that for a minute. I don't know. I mean, you could give a guy a flower if you wanted to. I mean, a palm tree, a sunshine, the sunshine emoji with the smile face, the sunglass emoji, the thumbs up is kind of cool. There's one like this. It's kind of like right on, that emoji. That's kind of a fun one, like cool, instead of always doing the thumbs up. Give me what it's supposed to indicate. If you mean like it's an emoji gift, maybe it could be, I don't, it could be cheers. It could be, big grin and smiley face. There's a few, for me, you can give me the arm, which, by the way, if you have a phone and you have to type it in so it knows what to find, so you don't have to search for it. This is biceps. If you put in the word biceps and you go on your phone to like the one that it knows that you're thinking of, the word biceps is associated with that one. That's funny. Field of Dreams. Yes, we got 3 people there. Got it. That's awesome. I'm still here yet till family takes over Roku for family time. By the way, quick tangent. I'll talk a little bit about later. The Olympics are on, and I love the Olympics. I'm just a fan. I like sports. I'm not an overall fan of everything. Like, I don't just watch soccer and baseball and golf and everything, but I like NHRA, NASCAR, Pittsburgh Steelers, Ohio State Buckeyes, not too much into basketball. Although I did watch the NBA finals last few minutes and see Milwaukee win. That was incredible. He just felt good for that town. But the Olympics, I've always been into it. I remember I really started getting into it around Barcelona in 92. And I can just, badminton, archery, volleyball, track and field, rowing, just on and on and on, all the niche sports. It's just so much fun to watch. I mean, I really enjoyed, check this out, the women's road race in bicycles. It was an 80-mile race that takes place in one day. I'm not into cycling. I barely ride the bicycle. But something I was intrigued about watching it, I recorded it and watched the rest of it yesterday. I think it was because they were going through Japan and up through the mountains. I like mountains. And it was fun to watch and see. But anyway, this small pack of nobodies went to the front and got a 10-minute lead. Well, I watch these sports. I don't know much, but you kind of pick up like the gist of it as it goes along. And the people, what ends up happening is the powerhouse countries that are like cyclists and very good, like from Netherlands and such, or Great Britain or Germany, they basically, those people at the front, it's futile. It doesn't work. And they end up getting taken over. If you want to make a NASCAR analogy, it'd be like at Talladega when these no names get out front and eventually the pack comes and takes them over and they don't end up winning the race. Apparently in the Olympics, because it's amateur, road cyclists aren't allowed to use ear mics to communicate with each other, but yet they still have team cars that they can yell to and stuff. Well, it was this Australian lady who's like a whiz-bang mathematician with a PhD and everything, gets a 10-minute lead. and gets the gold medal. The lady who was supposed to win from the Netherlands comes across the finish line, putting her arms up like this, and is like super proud. She thought she got the gold medal. She had no idea there was somebody out front that beat them. And they said it was like the greatest upset in cycling history. And because I thought it was like some poor sportsmanship, because they were the cameras were at the start finish line, and nobody was going up to this girl from Austria, this lady, and congratulating her. And I'm like, man, that's a bunch of, poor sports. The women from Netherlands are right next to her. They're not even saying like good job or handshake or a fist bump or a good job or something. I'm like, wow, they're really sour about that. It turns out I had read they had no idea. She thought she won the gold. So it was a huge embarrassment and like kind of a miscommunication. They didn't know it. Anyway, sorry, probably lost 5 people telling that story, but I like the Olympics. So the Roku thing about Kentucky Girl is if you don't have cable, apparently like Peacock free trial or Roku and some of these others, there's crafty ways that you can still stream a lot of the stuff from the Olympics. If you do happen to have and pay for a cable provider or DirecTV, we have DirecTV, you can get the NBC Olympics app on your phone, or you can go to NBC Olympics online. Once you authenticate with your provider with like your DirecTV login, you can watch every single gazillion hours of the Olympics that you want to. It's really cool. So if you are paying and you like the Olympics, check it out, because that's all included. It's really pretty neat. Let's see here. Catching back up. Where was the Roku comment? I had a lightning bug in my house the other night, and finally I got out of bed and it let it out outside after I watched it a while. Yeah, the kids catch them, and I always feel bad for them. We used to do it when I was a kid, and we'd put it in a jar with foil and poke holes and put some sticks in there and stuff. But yeah, we have to let them go, or they die. I'm impressed with how well you do keep up with the comments until now, right, Larry? I'm 8 minutes behind, but yes, I appreciate it. Finally got to see your Mustang in a short this week. Yeah, that was so. It did rain cats and dogs that evening. So I finally, and time is a premium. I get up, I wash the car. It's looking fantastic. I go run a bunch of errands and work out and go to the grocery, and it just, the sky just let loose. I mean, there once again, you clean the car and it rains. Foxy, you need to clean the car, and then maybe it'll rain down in Georgia. That's what'll work. Let's see here. Yes, that's a funny story, Mr. Mountman. It's interesting tidbit to Foxy. Hey, Mr. Mountman, everyone sleeping. I should be asleep already. Too tired to type everyone's names, but wanted to say hello to all and have an amazing, fantastic week. Picture and audio is amazing. Yes, and we got the 2 cool emojis. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. I'm sure it's beautiful up in the parts that you are in, Newfoundland, up that way this time of the year, and I hope you're doing well. The squirrels are protected by an ordinance. That would be the white squirrels. That's very cool. You need to bring your Mustangs to the car show in Tennessee and Western North Carolina as well. Hope you are right. A buddy of mine invited me to the Maggie Valley Mustang show the other week, and I was disappointed I couldn't go. I'm at the stage of my life, as all you guys know, I have to plan things out like 1 or 2 weeks. It's just too much going on. So somebody told me about it on a Friday night for a Saturday, and I wasn't prepared. I need to pay attention to those things ahead of time. I did go to Ponies in the Smokies this year. So that was, in Pigeon Forge, that was, or in Sevier County. And I still have that video to put out on the other channel. Let me see. Did you see that Texas and Oklahoma are joining the SEC in 2025? I had seen the headline they wanted to. I did not know it was official until you put that right there. All I got to say about that is SEC is just becoming super over the top dominant. If you compared it to the business world, it'd be like a monopoly. It'd be like if Microsoft and Google and Amazon like actually became one company. It's not supposed to work like that. Like you need the Pac-10, the Big Ten, the Big East, the ACC's, more basketball, but I mean, they have Florida State and others. My main concern is like all these teams in the SEC, I don't know. I guess it's happening. What are you going to say about it? But um, the parity is becoming less and less in college football with the conferences. As much as I've had arguments over the years about SEC versus Big Ten when it comes to college football, I have to admit, like with all that happening, it might continue to be more and more difficult. I mean, eventually, the way it's going to be a northern and a southern division. I mean, that's what it's kind of pairing up to be. Um, Oh, okay. Good night, Kentucky girl. I know I'm a few minutes late. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for stopping by. I'd love to do that. So, a Camaro, but both muscle car. Yeah, and there's a lot of car shows that you can do. It's just like a muscle car show or a car show. But yes, some are specifically Camaro or Mustang or whatever like that. Yes, definitely. Yeah, and I know that's probably I get a little bit of attrition here too because, in fairness, a lot of people get up at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and here I am, creeping in here at 8:30 at night and going late. So, but I appreciate everybody that does stop by. Do you ever have any problems with DirecTV when it rains? That used to be the big, thing that people for years would say. I don't want to get satellite because of that. I think it's almost become like quasi urban legend at this point. I have had DirecTV since my Blockbuster days. We sold it at Blockbuster. I have had DirecTV for over 20 years. And in the 20 years, I think my TV has only gone out for weather about 20 times. So literally like once a year. Um, it's not that often. I mean, it can snow, ice, rain, regular rain. It has to be something really crazy. Like really, really bad weather. And then here's what happens nowadays. I watch so much on the DVR anyway. I don't always watch a lot of live TV. I mean, that's kind of the magic of modern day TV anyway. Who wants to watch commercials? Even on sports, like on the Steelers game, when they start at 1 p.m. on Sunday, I I start watching at 2 p.m. or 2:30. I will record it and then I don't have to watch the commercials. So the point being is that if the satellite went out for something, there's all and nowadays it's even more. It's Netflix or Amazon Prime or DirecTV, or I'm not even watching TV anyway. So in general, no, I've not had it to be a problem. In fact, I kind of digress a little bit. There were a couple years in the middle. We lived in an apartment and I had cable, and I will tell you what, the cable went out too. We had cable go out for like ice storms and stuff because not all those cables are underground. Because eventually somewhere they come above ground. And so if you had like an ice storm, it would rip that down. Whereas if your satellite didn't fall, you'd be good to go. So I think I would never tell or say to anybody that you can't get it because of the weather. So I think the answer is basically no. Do you think that the Big Ten will expand to keep up with the SEC? Yeah. So you heard my comments on that. I think they're going to have to do something, get some good teams, not a Rutgers. Yep. I mean, good football teams. Here's the deal. And hopefully without boring too many people, I'll give you some more insight to that. I've lived in Florida. I've lived in North and South Carolina. I've lived in Ohio. And listen, when you're 18 years old and you're going to college, 18 or 19, where do you want to go to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where there's potholes in the road? It's gray and dreary. There's no beach. There's nothing cool. College party, sure. Okay, everybody's going to have that. Or do you want to go to, down to Florida where there's palm trees, beach is an hour away, everybody's wearing short sleeve shirts, or Alabama where it's warm, or Georgia or something like that. I mean, there's a real allure to going to like a warmer climate. And it's also, just watching football when it's 25 degrees in November, December, and they're getting in a 3-point stance on the line in Columbus, Ohio, and their hands are freezing and their feet are freezing, or up in Minnesota or Iowa, or you could be down there in Florida, passing the ball as a quarterback with the palm trees flowing in the background in 75-degree weather. I mean, there's some real reality to just how fun and neat and nice it is to be down in the South, as opposed to freezing and up in the North. So I think they have a recruiting thing as well today. And it was made official today. Okay. About that. I have a computer and an iPad and a smartphone. I think there's like there's a second difference in the timing of what you're saying. That is strange. Yeah, I know. I know that sorry. I gotta get to housekeeping and news and notes. Let me catch up. But if I ever bring up my cell phone and in the live stream, it is on like a little bit of a delay, which is interesting. Each sport is soon going to be a year-round sport. Yes, and it could be because of the weather and money and all that stuff. The NFL has expanded their schedule. Absolutely. Mr. Mountain had the live stream episode banners. That's what I was talking about for your videos. Oh, yeah. Like this. Yeah. So Larry, I know you use StreamYard as well. I think it's a great product. My only gripe again is I can't moderate. And right now I rely on all you all to do that. But I can't moderate really. I can just put a user in timeout or hide a user, but I can't like remove a comment, which I think is the most important to be able to do. Yeah, you can see it much better on that, like that. Yep. I'd go to Florida and I love Ohio State. Yeah, I mean, me too. I mean, look at me. I grew up in Columbus and I ended up going to UNC Charlotte, out of state. And so if you're a recruited athlete, the allure of, well, at the time I really wanted to be in NASCAR and stuff. And so I thought that might be it. That didn't pan out that didn't pan out like that. But just the allure of some of the South, and it's not part of the Rust Belt either. If those are familiar, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, just older cities, although a lot of resurgence there. There's a lot of beautiful things there, a lot of nice things there, but kind of getting out of that. I guess it depends on where your dish is. Ours was on the roof, and every time we got a lot of snowing, our signal went out until the snow on the dish melted. Okay. And I guess it does depend on maybe where you are. The sun does help with some of that, and I think the angle and stuff to help it slide off. But and I know my parents had it in Ohio. It didn't seem to be too big of a problem. Ohio State is so far surviving that they're almost an automatic ticket to the pros. Yes. So there's another element there. Ohio State's a bad example when I use that 3-point stance. It'd probably be better to use like Northwestern or Minnesota, or I said Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, those other Big Ten schools. If you were being recruited to Indiana or Illinois, or somebody came to you from NC State or Georgia Tech or something, I mean, I don't know how they're going to win that one. Bowden is terminally ill and thrown Florida into a funk. Yeah, on the strictly sports sense, I never cared for him as a coach. Nothing offensive. It's just I didn't like Florida State during those years. They were so dominant, and I was such a Buckeyes fan. I just got sick and tired of it. But and I don't know his backstory that well, but I did see that, and to me, it's a sad thing because he's such a big part of college athletics in that time. But on a strictly competitive sense, I didn't care for him, but not on the human sense. So that was sad to hear. Wow, you had to bring our crappy Michigan roads. Big Daddy, you like that? How I make those visualizations? Listen, I grew up in Ohio, so I know that stuff. And Michigan has some beautiful areas, though. Like I said, I used to go to Michigan International Speedway in the Irish Hills. There is a beautiful area. Like if somebody was to have like an in-state, like vacation on the lake, type house or hut. Of course, northern Michigan is absolutely beautiful too, but the Irish Hills is probably a extremely underrated place. I would love to live in Michigan if it wasn't colder than Ohio. Your coast's up there, but yes, so you beat me to it there. Yes, that is it's funny. All right, so finally, I think I'm caught up here. Let's go ahead and get over to. Let me do this in the right order. Housekeeping for the week of July the 26th, 2021. Again, anybody who's new to the live stream, I have the live stream is split into 3 main segments. Kind of the part that we've just done for the last hour, which is kind of the meet and greet and the conversations, catching up, what's everybody up to, kind of the open live stream format. And then I get into housekeeping, which can be anything related to the channel, what's going on, any kind of updates that are going on, videos, and information. And then I get into news and notes, which are a selection of interesting articles, starting from here in the mountains and expanding outward. So Housekeeping for the week. A few things on the housekeeping. One, you should have had a new video by now. I mean, a real video. The video is done uploading, but it is not done processing. I was very disappointed that it could not be released in time. It is taking a heck of a time finishing, and everything is set, queued, metadata is on there and ready to go. So you all should have a new video to watch on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel tomorrow evening, hopefully. Assuming it should finish. So yay, there's something new to watch, and I hope you guys enjoy it. The other thing, small piece of housekeeping, I continue to do the shorts. I had a little short this weekend with the car and the festival and stuff like that. That was fun. And I continue to make a few shorts. I try to, again, keep that continuity in the community. Let's see, what else is there? Yes, there was the okay, so yes, the Mr. Mountain Man Instagram account at Mr. Mountain_man. Looking forward to seeing the new video. Thank you so much, AZ Rock. No problem. Hope lives in the background. Absolutely. Michigan can have the sport of riding mosquitoes instead of ponies. They are so big. Yeah, the Midwest is up there in Minnesota. They can definitely get into it. So yes, also on the housekeeping front. So I had every Monday I post when the live stream is going to be. I do it as a YouTube post, which if you are subscribed and have the notifications turned on, you will see it in your stream or your feed on your homepage, or you can go to the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel and check it. Just go look for it. I say what time approximately I'm going to start the live stream. Tonight, I was looking for a picture that I had, and I found one, and the picture was older. And I said, hey, I just thought off the cuff. I'm like, little quiz question. Does anybody know where this is? Hint, it is older. So, nope. More sweaty Mr. Mountain Man pics. Yeah, I put one on Instagram. I'll get to that one in a minute. Yes, you're right, Mr. Carlos. The picture on the post was so my hint in it being old is you would have had to have been a super fan, and I don't even know if that was enough of a hint, but that was from Chimney Rock. That is the location of the end scene from Last of the Mohicans, where the final battle is between what was it, Mohawk and oh man, some Last of the Mohicans fan I'm drawing a brain fart. But that particular ledge right there, which you could no longer go to. So that picture was taken when I took the original hike at Chimney Rock, which is in my first Chimney Rock video. At the end of the video, it's called the original Skyline Trail when Chimney Rock was privately owned. That picture I took in 2003, I believe. So yes, it's was that 18 years old picture from Chimney Rock at Hickory Nut Falls at the ledge, and also where the final scene the final fight scene from Last of the Mohicans was filmed. So there is your quiz answer. I don't know if anybody maybe thought it might be that. Speaking of that, did you have to get 1,000 subs to get that community tab? Yes, and it took a little while. Once I got 1,000, it took like 2 or 3 weeks before that community post tab showed up. And the documentation on YouTube is really garbage about that. Like, I was so confused for a long time. I'm like, how do I use the community tab? And, I couldn't get a straight, like, just, when is that milestone? But yes, it was with 1,000 subscribers. You don't have to toggle it anymore. It automatically turns on. I was actually going to say Chimney Rock. Thought it'd be too obvious. Yeah, no, it wasn't supposed to be super hard. It was supposed to be, I would have been really impressed if somebody said, oh yeah, that's from the Chimney Rock video at the end. That would have been off the top impressive. For tips, hints, tools, and how to use it all, then sub to Mr. Mountain Man Alter Ego channel at youtube.com, The Eclectic Handyman. Thank you so much, Foxy Wolf. Yes, that is my other YouTube channel right now. And I've got 3 or 4 videos recorded and just not put out yet, plus umpteen in the backlog to do. So yeah. What was weird? I must have missed a comment, or did yes, and was looking for it and it wasn't there. Yes. Oh, you did have the right answer. Did you have the right answer, Rita? You said Chimney Rock? I thought oh, I can't get to the internet. If you did, then I maybe didn't see it. But that was the answer. I had the right answer. Chimney Rock. Okay. Did you say you didn't say Hickory Nut Falls, did you? Did you go all the way and have that? Yeah. Oh, a troll. Wow. I ask for people, I get people. I get the wrong kind of people. Did they thumbs down the chat or the I mean the thing? Thank you for taking care of that. I appreciate that for the moderators there. Thank you. We're getting popular. Back to the housekeeping. So new video, shorts, didn't make it up to Mount Mitchell for the picnic. And the quiz answer was Last of the Mohicans. Maybe if I can do a little planning, don't hold it to me. Maybe I can do like a fun picture each week and you guys can try to guess and I'll try to keep it. You were right. You said North Carolina. You did, Larry. You did say North Carolina. All right. You said Skyline Trail. If you said it, congratulations to Rita Lockett. That is actually, I gotta go pull that up right now. I did not see that. I had seen because I'll see it here in the notifications. Where is it? Let's see. I'm going to my channel right now. Your channel. Where's my post? How do I go to the community tab. And here we go. 4 comments. We got John Rock in Pisgah National Forest. Skyline Trails of Chimney Rock. Yes, I swear I pressed a heart on all these. Something went wrong. Yes, you got it. Yes, I replied. Very nice job, Rita. That was awesome. Rita is the super fan. That is super cool. You got it. And I'm sorry I did not see that comment before. That was really, really cool. Very nice job. Who's the troll? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see him. Thank you for catching that before. So all right, that was housekeeping for the week. Oh no, let's show the sweaty picture. Let's see. How do I share screen window? This one. All right, do we have it up? Need to close some. All right, there we go. All right, 2 pictures. I guess I was boring this week, right? Oops, where's my post? Okay, here we go. Yeah, this picture right. First of all, I look like I have no sun. I just noticed how white my neck looks right here. I'm like, have I been out in the sun this year? It's summertime. Listen, I was out in the garage hanging those tires and doing some of that other stuff, and it was hot. And the reason I was making a point of that is because it had felt like, and I do this every year, it's been very mild. And I'm like, wow, this just must be the way the mountains is. You know, it's like nice and mild. And then all of a sudden it shows me that summer's really here. And when we get to the weather, yeah, we're going to be getting some 90s coming up. So yeah, yes, it's hot and muggy. That's AZ Rock there. We got Rita here having storms. Yes. Working out. So I was wearing the shirt and I was about to go to the gym when I said, let me get these things done in the garage. So I ended up taking off that shirt and changing shirts. This is the time of the year where, yeah, I have a stack of t-shirts and I just go through them all. So anyway, yes, that was the sweaty Mr. Mountain Pan pick that Mr. Carlos was joking about. That was our Mount Mitchell picnic at not Mount Mitchell. It was burgers and corn and hot dogs. And that, by the way, that is the package that I just recommend that if you're on the go and you're a little pressed for time, but you want a good burger, Walmart does sell the 12-pack of Angus burgers, $16 or $17. But if you think about that compared to going out to eat, that's nothing. Like in grocery dollars, it's like, oh, $16, $17. I want $4. So it's a little expensive. But in going out to eat dollars, that's a heap load of meat. I think it's like 3 or 4 pounds. Um, anyway, that has Worcestershire sauce on it and that Montreal steak seasoning. You can see it on there. And then I threw them on the grill. One of the things that I'm doing, I said recently, speaking of, kind of trying to be a little bit more healthy, um, giving up a couple of, giving up a couple of things. You guys know me. I try to be, healthy, and I'm not a pure health nut. Guys, I eat burgers and and donuts and all kinds of stuff. But there's a few things I'm going to cut out because I was gaining a little bit of extra weight that wasn't muscle, and I'm kind of not happy about it. So I'm gonna cut back on the cheese, the sugars just desserts. Sugars, not. I don't in general. I'm very conscientious about sugars in general. I'm very good about reading labels and being able to process, carbs, fat, sugars, and calories, and no matter what it is. I'm not anti-bread by any means, but there are some breads that I've been getting kind of liberal with, like when we go to Golden Corral and, eating a couple of their buns with the butter and stuff. They're super good. They're better than dessert. But some of the white breads, cheese, and the desserts, I think I need to scale back a little bit because as hard as I work in the gym, that stuff is not helping me personally. And so I'm thinking about cutting that back. You will not hear me personally ever go on a diet. I don't do keto or Atkins back in the day, or South Beach, or whatever iteration it is of basically no carbs, all protein type things to get your body either in a ketosis state or, any of that. Because for me, everything I would prefer lifestyle changes, because again, I go to the gym 5 days a week. I take it very seriously about bodybuilding. And so just trying to trim a little bit of fat that, I feel like it slows me down a little bit. And so I just wanted to do that. By the way, a lot of people don't know, there's a lot of misinformation. A lot of people think that carbs are evil. The carbs are not bad. Carbs are brain food. They fill out your muscles if that's what you're into. And there's a lot of good carbs, sweet potatoes. So there's something called the glycemic index. It's how quickly your body burns down those sugars and then is able to use them as basically energy. And the problem between a simple carbohydrate and a complex carbohydrate is worlds different. Like eating sweet potatoes will give you energy for a long amount of time, or maybe brown rice or some of these other things that are healthy. But something like a donut, that you'll get that sugar spike and it goes away. So anyway, another one of my famous Mr. Mountain Man tangents, but just a couple of things I just kind of made a decision on. I'm like, I need to do a little course correction. I don't do diets, but I need to do a course correction and tighten down a few things that I think I've getting a little too lenient about. I mean, there was a time here several months ago, I'd go out with the family on Friday night. We get food to eat. And I've told you at the grocery store they'd have half price donuts after 6. And because I do bodybuilding and I can burn so many calories in my mind, I'm like, I can go to town and I can eat like this because I can handle it. But eventually it can catch up with you. So I also just internally, the heart and all that stuff. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you in on all that, because actually reason I was thinking about it with those burgers is I actually didn't put cheese on my burgers. I haven't done that in years. Not that cheese is a big bad thing, but if I eat like cheese pizza sometimes, and cheese on my eggs, and it's just I don't need all that extra cheese all the time. So let's see. But yes, food, and I have more food coming up. So all that I said, I'm going to just forewarn you, I'm going to go the other end of the spectrum and talk about junk food. So I was not trying to be, that everybody needs to be. I was just talking about me. You guys know I do the fitness thing, so I just thought I'd mention a couple of things, but that's just me personally. I have some junk food coming up, so you'll love if you're hungry, you'll love the next story. Yes, just what you watch for when you mod. Hope people leaving bad comments for attention being mean and nasty. Yeah, it's when someone comes in inappropriate. just like the person posted 16 times. We had somebody post 16 times. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, a troll. Yeah, it's just somebody who's trying to sabotage any kind of live event like this or whatever by saying it could be inappropriate, it could be rude, it could be bad words, it could be, it could be just silly. But their goal is just to upset the apple cart. Instead of kind of go along with the flow, they want to, purposely, um, be rude. And they're all over the internet. It is the word. It's called trolling. And you might question, why would people do that? And it's because people are bored and they want to be obnoxious, or they get a kick out of it. Because when people troll, they get a reaction from people. People like, oh, who posted that or whatever, or somebody gets upset or something like that. It's the old thing when we were kids in school. And it's like, hey, there's a bully, and don't pay attention to the bully, and they won't, if you don't give them a reaction. So it's the internet's version of, kind of like that, a little bit like a troll. So yeah, that is before. Yep. Yeah. We have had a troll. It's weird because I had some trolls year and a half or more ago, and then we haven't seen them in forever. I'd asked a couple weeks ago, I'm like, hey, mods, have we ever had a troll? Yeah. Hey, Todd, hello. I'm late, but I made it. Mondays are always crazy. Yes, and glad to have you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Yes, some others are getting hit with trolls. Yeah. I'm not sure. The reason it surprised me that we got some is because I don't have that many people until I asked for people earlier, and then I got a troll. So that's hilarious. When you said a long time ago, and I knew you had a picture of you there when you were younger, and also when you and your family hiked there just before closing. Yes. And you got it. That was awesome that you got the picture. That is really cool. I am impressed. I am. I didn't think anybody would get that. Is anybody else getting hungry? Yes. You want one of those always on Monday nights. Yes. My popcorn is not cutting it. Wait till I get to the next story. My mouth is watering. I'm craving one of those 4-pound burgers. By the way, yeah, I did. I ate, I think I ate like 3 of those yesterday. What I did was I took the burger, lettuce, tomato, onion, and then I like yellow mustard, just plain yellow mustard. Cut it with a fork and knife. Delicious. The onions, the Vidalia onions, the fresh tomatoes popping with that hamburger meat. A+. I even ate leftovers today and my mouth's still watering. Margarita would go. Yes, go well with the food. Yes. Let's see. If I don't think I missed anybody. I kind of went through there. All right. So that is the housekeeping for the week of July the 26th, 2021. Let's move over to the news and notes of the week for July 26th, 2021. If you are hungry, you better get your snacks ready, because here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1. No, it can't go 2, 2.5, 2, 1.5, 1. Bingo. What are we going to start with, friends? We're going to start with the absolute best French fries in Asheville, North Carolina. By the way, this AVL Today is a fantastic site. They have some really nice articles on here. Let me read to you from this. Let's see. So yeah, this is a list, and we've done this before. We did ice cream, and we did I forget what the other one that we did the other week, but that's it. I'm lighting the grill. Yes. International trolls. Yeah. Maybe somebody from another mountains of other areas of the world. Let's check it out. So the humble potato. Okay, starting off, it gets right into it. Okay, the humble potato, meaning the French fry, is a beloved and revered root vegetable that is arguably never better than when it's sliced, fried, and salted to perfection in the form of French fries. We asked y'all last month where you go for these sumptuous spuds. And in honor of National French Fry Day, we're highlighting 6 you shouted out that have been tested and approved by yours truly. First one up, Baby Bull on 1 Roberts Street. These are all within the Asheville vicinity. Known for its decadent sandwiches, the fries cooked in beef tallow and served with an aioli dipping sauce practically overshadow the eatery's famous handheld sandwiches. The next one, Bouchon, 62 North Lexington Avenue, sprinkled with herbs de Provence and served with red pepper mayo. These fritters are arguably the perfect thing to nosh while you're here in the Paris of the South. Buxton Chicken Palace on 56 Patton Avenue. 2 words, waffle fries. Those little nooks and crannies will hold all the ketchup and other sauces like that white barbecue and make every bite perfect. By the way, if I'm going to go French fries, I love some waffle fries. I mean, speaking of like eating some garbage, when I was at college, that was my first foray into Chick-fil-A because we didn't have them in Ohio, but they had them in Charlotte. And a roommate of mine, of course, back in college, I was so skinny and I could eat forever and never gain a pound. But that was a long time ago. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you take these French fries and you dip them in mayonnaise." So I would get all these Chick-fil-A mayonnaise packets and make this huge pile of mayonnaise and take their waffle fries and just, dip them in there and eat that. Those were the days. I love some waffle fries. Next up, Ganshan West, 285 Haywood Road, with dumplings, ramen, and that record-setting rice bowl. French fries may not be top of mind when you think of this Pan-Asian West Asheville spot, but a taste of its Japanese fries with spicy mayo, sweet soy, and some other ingredient, torgashi, furake, and scallion, and you'll never forget them. This vegetarian restaurant pinches up its fries with jalapenos and onions for a divinely simple and subtly spicy side dish. I wonder if that might be the picture on the left there. In the last one, White Labs Kitchen and Tap on 172 South Charlotte Street. Everything on White Labs menu highlights fermentation, but it's the French fries that are the real star. Brine for 24 hours in, why do they have to use these words tonight that I'm normally pretty good, but they're getting me with a few of these ingredients. Lactobacillus, and topped with brisket, house-made kimchi, furikake, green onion, sweet soy, and yum sauce. They're unlike anything else you've ever had. Well, there you go. You can do the tour of Asheville and just eat French fries, gourmet French fries from these places around town. I don't know what you guys think. Loaded fries, particularly, I like the ones on the left. By the way, the fries on the right, the reason I put that picture there is because I think it was just last week we were talking about what kind of fries do you put vinegar on when I was talking about barbecue. That is the kind of fry you put vinegar on, the ones on the right there. Those plain potato sliced, fries that are often the type you see with like fish and chips. Those are the ones that you put vinegar on them. They look like they go great. They would go great with a good Coney dog. Yes, absolutely. Fries cooked in duck fat. Yeah, I know. Love fries and mayo. I know that. I mean, to me, mayonnaise is a dessert. I love mayonnaise, but I know how bad it is, but I love it. I mean, burger with mayonnaise, fries with mayonnaise. Oh, turkey sandwich or any kind of meat sandwich, ham sandwich. Mayo's delicious. Fries with tartar sauce. Now, I'll take you up on that if I have fish. If I have fish, I could do that. You know what I've become a fan of as I've gotten older is horseradish sauce. I did not like it as a kid. I think it's kind of more of an acquired taste, but I do like, or as they at Arby's, what they call it, horsey sauce. I never had them in duck fat. Maybe you need them international trolls back to help you with the pronunciations. I know I'm messing up tonight. I'm normally decent with being able to articulate the things I read in the articles. That is the fries on the left, kimchi, watermelon, and radish. Yes. Kimchi, speaking of a couple of stories, I remember back in college, somebody had kimchi in where I was living, and that stuff, I think it's fermented. It smelled really, really badly. Do any of you guys like kimchi? I just remember it smelling really foul. I'm so hungry. It's not funny. I know. I got to go with the food thing. Seems to be a fun thing each week, and so I'm enjoying this string of food articles. Yeah, fair fries or Five Guy fries with vinegar. Yeah, the type on the right. I'm glad that I've eaten already. You know, it's funny. I didn't go to the gym. I don't go to the gym on Mondays most of the time because of Mr. Mountain Man Monday. And so I haven't done that much physical activity today. But like I ate dinner and I ate a pretty healthy dinner, but I'm hungry again. What have I had today? I had oatmeal for breakfast. I like to have oatmeal with flaxseed because ground flaxseed, I buy it at the grocery store. And then for lunch, oh, so you guys have heard for lunch that a lot of times I used to eat, I used to eat Lean Pockets for 100 years. Then I was eating protein Hot Pockets, and then they stopped doing the chicken. I think it was Mr. Carlos that found the article. And I've been relegated to the steak and cheddar, and now they stopped the high protein ones. They only have, it's basically turned into pure junk food. And along my lines of cutting some things out, I'm like, I need to cut out the Lean Pockets. It's one or the Hot Pockets for lunch every day, 5 days a week. It's time to cut out the Hot Pockets. So what my wife did, and I like it too, is she'll cook a huge thing of chicken breast, cut it up, a huge thing of broccoli, and a huge thing of white rice. And we have these Tupperware type freezer containers I bought off of Amazon, stack of 10. It'll be like a big portion of chicken, broccoli, and rice. Put the lid on it, put it in the freezer, and I can eat that. It's a much more well-rounded meal. So I started on that, and actually it's more fulfilling. I enjoy that. And sometimes I still eat the Triscuits with the tuna pack. I put the tuna on top. I do like some Triscuits. And then for dinner, I ate some of those leftover burgers with some mayonnaise. But I didn't have the lettuce and tomato. But I'm hungry. I'm hungry again. I don't know if it's from looking at these pictures or what, but I'm hungry. Hey, Hike with Mike. I hope you're doing well and using your knife to cut through the Florida humidity probably these days. I hope your adventures are going well and you are doing well. Let us know how you're doing. I had a burger and onion rings for supper. Ooh, nice. That is good. My wife loves onion rings. Tartar sauce is made with mayo. Yes, it is. Yeah. It's just got the little chunky stuff in it, right? But yes, it is mayonnaise. So when I'm doing the fish with the tartar sauce, it's essentially mayonnaise. I have not had kimchi. Okay. Good homemade kimchi is good. That stuff from the store is barf. Yes. I think the guy who had it in college, I think he had made his. Yeah, fermented cabbage, radish, lots of different veggies. It's a long process that Koreans are known for, generally made in crocks. Some of it even bury it. Oh, wow. You are just too healthy, Mr. Mountain Man. You made me feel guilty, but it doesn't work. I still eat my lunch. Yeah. No, listen, in my life with all the kids running around and everything going on, I have got to keep up with it. Like if I'm feeling lethargic or tired, it's a problem. Like it literally is a problem. I have so much I have to be involved with and stuff. And so, if I start, walking, the mountains or doing something and I'm completely out of breath, that can get a little frustrating for me. So yeah, no, there was no putting that. It was more because, I was just talking a little bit about what's going on in my world, but no, listen, if any part, I think if one thing you guys know about me is I definitely have balance. Like I am not like super to the T, like, never have anything. I mean, I still desserts and burgers and, going out to eat and buffets and all kinds of stuff. I just try to course correct sometimes if I'm getting a little out of bounds, but that's all. So yes, read about kimchi. I don't know. I kind of have it in that same bucket as the Vegemite that I was talking about the other week. So I'm not a fan, but if you guys are, let me know. So anyway, that was the one about the food or make or break a Korean restaurant. Yes. All right, next up. Oh, so speak of the timing here. Meet the 3 Western North Carolina athletes in the Tokyo Olympics. Every once in a while, by the way, I'm pretty sure 90+% of people understand when I do the WNC notation in chats or in my videos or on live stream that stands for Western North Carolina. But if anybody didn't know what that meant, that's exactly what it is. It's this area of the state, and usually it's synonymous with the mountains. I think everybody around here knows that, but just in case anybody was from out of the area and like, what is WNC? That is the area synonymous with the mountainous region or the western part of North Carolina. Let's see. Next up. Oh, yeah. So the Tokyo Olympics have started, and to get you excited about all the athletic competition or talent competing this year, we gather backstories of 3 WNC athletes, which you can watch this summer. And I love the Olympics. I mean, doesn't that look cool right there like that? That is super cool. First off, Eve or Evie, EVY. That's Evie, right? Evie? Liebfarth. Evie Liebfarth. Kayak, slalom, and canoe slalom. At just 17 years old, Evie, who was born in Silva, that's in Western North Carolina, currently lives in Bryson City. By the way, I've heard Silva is a very cool place to visit. Wink, wink. Currently lives in Bryson City, has already made serious waves as an athlete in Western North Carolina. I wink, wink, because I'm foreshadowing to maybe a video that might be coming out on this channel. Serious waves as an athlete in Western North Carolina and across the world. She's competed internationally since age 12, and at 15, she made history at Spain's International Canoe Federation Slalom Canoe World Championships as the youngest, plus first American woman to qualify for the U.S. for a spot in slalom canoe in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Next up, Adrian Hegvary, track cycling. While Adrian grew up in Seattle, Washington, this Olympic cyclist now splits his time between Asheville and Cambridge, New Zealand. In Tokyo, he'll compete in an endurance-focused, points-based relay race called the Madison, which challenges teams of 2 to complete the highest number of laps possible. Fun fact, Adrian also has citizenship in Hungary and has competed nationally for both Hungary and the U.S. Last up, Lily Williams, track cycling. This 27-year-old Asheville resident and her 3 Team USA teammates earned a gold medal for the women's team pursuit event at the 2020 Track Cycling World Championships. Her athleticism runs, get it, in the family. Her mother, Sarah Doctor, was a speed skater in the 1980 Olympics. Another fun fact, Lily ran track at Vanderbilt University over there in Tennessee, where she specialized in the 1-mile race before she switched to cycling in 2016. That is really cool. So there's a little bit of, here our mountain roots taking place over there in Tokyo at the Olympics. Let's see here. Catching back up. Kimchi is similar to sauerkraut, but generally spicy. Interesting, because I do like sauerkraut, another acquired taste. Guys, please pray for my back so I can sleep better tonight. I've had a rough day today. Yes, absolutely. We'll definitely pray for your back. And by the way, I think I mentioned like 5 live streams ago that I didn't realize how important like a good bed is. Like we had a really old bed and I was really sleeping poorly. Not to say that your back problems are the bed, but it does make a difference. But anyway, hope you do sleep better. I seen a girl from Knoxville was the first American to win her category of fencing a couple days ago. I did see that highlight. That was really cool. She got it and was super excited. There have been some really cool stories, just like the cycling one. It's the best. The Olympics really do that. Have some great stories. Hey, Mom, just back from the lake. Hope you guys you're probably a little tired, but I hope you had a great weekend up there in Northern Ohio and things are going well. Tell Dad I said hello and I love you guys. Bryson City has good rafting. Okay. Didn't know that. We have not like rapid type rafting here, but there are rafting companies on the French Broad River. It's a big deal here. I talked about that the other week, and they're really coming out in droves. Like when you drive on like 191 that follows the French Broad River, you just see just tons of people connected in all their little inner tubes. And where it gets real shallow, they just kind of camp out and just chill out in the water on a nice day. So they have the tubing, I guess you would say. Um, yes, Finston High School. I fenced. That's very cool. I think I remember you telling me that. I did fence. I took fencing in college. There was no team. I still have the glove, and I still know the stance and how to do it, like how to get the foot. I was actually showing the kids yesterday. I said, "Oh, your old dad took fencing in college," and I think they were like, "What?" It was an elective. There was no team or anything, but I did enjoy it. Having the foil, it was kind of fun. I got to put on the suit and do the points thing. It was kind of cool. Yes, it was cool that she won. I love the niche sports. I really can get into them. I'm disabled. Don't sleep good most nights, to be honest with you guys. Yeah. Again, prayers for you, Hope, and I hope that you're able to sleep peacefully through the night and feel better and get a good night's rest for sure. These athletes will bring more attention to North Carolina, bringing in more tourists with money. Good deal. Yes, I think. I just think it's cool. You had to have some. I'm sure they're from all over the country. It was kind of neat. There's been similar stories too, where we've had like actors and stuff from the Asheville area. There's one that's in the new Cobra Kai, not one of the main characters, but like one of the secondary characters. I think there were two from Asheville actually in it. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Next up, this is a follow-up to the article I read the other week. For those of you the regulars, Rita, Larry, AZ Rock, Foxy, you guys that listen each week. This was a follow-up to it. So camping has all but disappeared from Max Patch after the ban, officials say. This was from this Citizens Time just today. Camping has all but, so if you guys remember that the article was that up there at Max Patch, at the top, which you look at the views are incredible, but it was getting overrun and kind of littered and a bit decimated. And, there has to be a balance in nature to kind of preserve some of the stuff. So they put a ban on it because it was getting a little bit out of hand. Not that there was any like crime or anything crazy. It was just getting overrun. So this was the follow-up article. Camping has all but disappeared from Max Patch. Officials say less than a month into a camping ban implemented in response to destructive overuse of the site. Quote, currently what we're seeing is that camping has decreased greatly since that closure went into effect, said U.S. Forest spokeswoman Adrienne Rubaco. On July 1st, the Forest Service announced the 2-year ban on camping, fires, and more at the Grassy Bald, offering panoramic mountain views, instituting $80 to $130 fines for anyone violating the order. The move came following years of overuse at Max Patch, which resulted in impacts from unauthorized trails and excessive litter to trampling newly planted areas being restored for bird habitat, unburied humid waste, and cars clogging the road, preventing emergency vehicle access. Visitors were even removing wooden fence posts to use for firewood. Now, that is vandalism. You can't do that. Those impacts were evident when Mike Wooman flew his drone above Max Patch on September 20th of last year, capturing a bird's eye view of about 120 tents crowding the Bald, scattered with campers and intersected by unofficial trails. A local artist was visiting the area with a friend who were working on a promotional video for the Appalachian Trail and said he was amazed at the number of tents he saw when he went up to drone up. I think it needs to be done. It's a great place to camp, but until people can learn to take care of the place, something needs to be done. That's an important quote right there. This channel, we talk a lot about preservation of the beauty of the mountains and stuff. We want people to enjoy. Everybody should enjoy, but you can't cross that line for vandalism and destruction. We see a lot of that over in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park with some of the historical monuments, and up on the Blue Ridge Parkway with the signage and just some, poor behaviors going on. This was kind of in that, and that was the perfect quote. Until people can learn to take care of the place, sometimes you have to throttle it a little bit and kind of put in some restrictions. Morgan Somerville, Director of Visitor Use Management for the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, said the group received comments from around the world from people who saw Wurman's photo and related Citizens Time article. There was a lot of concern and dismay raised by that picture in that article. The camping ban was a shame, but looks like it was necessary. The new rules apply to an area surrounding the AT, which crosses the Grassy Bald and extends towards Max Patch Road and includes Max Patch Trail. Visitors to Max Patch are prohibited from camping, building fires, and leaving designated trails. Groups must be limited to 10 people. Dogs must be leashed and bikes must stay on the road. The closure has been a success so far, and the Forest Service plans to keep monitoring the area, but so far no citations have been issued as USFS remains focused on educating visitors. So that's good. They're not trying to irritate people. They're just, probably letting them know, hey, I'm sorry you can't camp here tonight. So anyway, that is a little update about Max Patch up there. But now that article there in that picture, you're still out up there. This was the caption on that picture said it was 2 families from Vermont having a snack during the sunset before they left for the day. So you're still allowed up there. You just can't camp up there. Ducktown, Tennessee has Class 5 rapids on Ocoee. Such fun. Are you into the river rapids and rafting and stuff? I have never gotten into it, but I know a lot of people really enjoy it. River rafting would scare the crap out of me. I can't swim, but it looks fun. I agree with Rita. Like, there's a lot of things I enjoy, but I mean, I can swim, but like I've seen it before. I don't know. Like, it looks like crazy, like bouncing around and getting thrown around. I mean, what happens if you get thrown out of the boat and hit a rock? Or I don't know. But I don't know. If you guys let me know. I know very little about it. It sure is a beautiful view, and it's I mean, you can see why people wanted to be up there. People always have to ruin good things, and I don't know why. I like the move they're making. I wouldn't advocate for this, but it would almost be like if, like, over in Pisgah National Forest, like if they removed all park benches and grills, that would listen. I don't want that because I enjoy that, but you could imagine that it wouldn't be as inviting to have picnics and stuff in those areas, thus causing people not to ruin it with the litter and the trash and some of that kind of stuff. You can't do that. I'm just saying it's an interesting technique to kind of throttle access when it gets out of control. I thought that was interesting. I have to check that out. I didn't see the tunnel they went to. I did show one a couple weeks ago from one of my videos where the AT went through that had the graffiti and the trash, and they were going to move it. But yeah, I was surprised it wasn't full of garbage laying around. I love whitewater rafting. The best I've done is the Snake River and the Tatons, right? I heard West Virginia has some good whitewater rafting as well, but I'm not sure. You might be able to validate that. I've been canoeing down a nice calm river. One thing I did enjoy was kayaking. I did that up in Minnesota. That was a lot of fun. And I also did it in Florida. I've told you guys that story. We went on a work excursion. That was crazy because I look back on that, and when we got in those kayaks, they're like, yeah, there will be gators in the water, but just don't irritate them and they won't mess with you. And I'm like, this piece of plastic between me and an alligator, and we were still out there. I don't know, young and dumb, whatever. If you took away the girls and things, people will abuse the area more in the set the mountains on fire. You could be right. My hypothesis about that method of throttling might be wrong. You're right. They might be like, well, let's just dig a hole and set up a campfire. And then they would, put a man-made grill on top of it and mess it up. Yes, West Virginia is big on the whitewater rafting. Okay. So going over here, the weather for the first time, you are starting to see even Asheville at the 2,000 plus elevation creeping up into the 90s. And so we are getting into the dog days of summer, as they say. We are in the thick of things, and almost every day. Although look at Thursday, just hot and dry on Thursday. So far, the weekend is not shaping up to have a little sunshine icon combined, but we got a lot of time before Sunday. So let me catch up here. Okay, so that was the news and notes for the week of July the 26th, 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed those stories, catching up on the last few comments. Who's ready for cruising? Come back to the USA again for everyone. Yes, it's been a shame. I love cruising. Met my wife on a cruise. Would like to go on a cruise in the future. Haven't been in 15 plus years. And it would be nice to see to do that again. They have certainly been hit by the pandemic. As far as this is in reference to the whitewater rafting, I will not do it without a guide. I am not strong enough to row myself on high rapids. Yes. Yeah, I think that would make sense. Like these companies that go out on the buses and they have the rafts and they take you to the areas and they know, yes, that's what I envision as well would be something to do. The people who leave trash behind are the same ones who throw trash out in parking lots and the yards they drive by. They're just trashy, ignorant people. Yeah, it is. It's like I talked about the other week when I saw that person take that wrapper and throw it out the sunroof, like in broad daylight with cars around. I don't get the mentality of that. I don't know. To be honest, it's kind of a pessimistic view. I don't know if there is a means to educate people like that. It's just some people, it's just that they either saw it growing up or that's what it just doesn't bother them. They could take a whole bag of, empty fast food, an empty milkshake thing and just, chuck it out the window on the side of the road. Like you would love to ask that person, like, who do you think's going to clean that up? Would the answer be, I don't care. Somebody else, some misinformation like, oh, I think it'll biodegrade next week. I don't like, I don't know. I would love to know what the answer would be. It'd be interesting. They reinstated mask mandates on most cruise ships. I didn't even know that the cruises were fully up and running yet. I know it was like some were on and not the US ports. You had to go to like maybe Puerto Rico or so I don't know. I was following it kind of closely and then I didn't. I think the answer would be I don't care. I think so too. That would seem the most logical. Like, why'd you throw that one? I don't care. Not my problem. Somebody will pick it up. That would probably make sense to be it. I would hope that you would have to wear a mask at all times. Yeah, I think probably 2022 would probably be better on the horizon for it. So I'm looking at the time and it is about $1:45 into this. And so I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream episode 83, 17 episodes away from episode 100. One thing I forgot to mention in housekeeping, I have mentioned a couple times, we do have, we'll be hitting the beach this summer. So get to show you some from Myrtle at some point. I saw Yankee in the South was there this weekend. That was really cool. It was neat to see Will and Don and Chris and Mindy. I always get excited about seeing Myrtle Beach and they were doing a little camping. So good for them. I hope they had a great trip. We're looking forward to it. It's upcoming. It's my wife and I's 20th wedding anniversary. So that's kind of our 15th. We did a very, very nice cabin in Gatlinburg, which unfortunately burnt down as an effect from the fires that next year. And so that cabin that we were at and up there in the chalet area up in Gatlinburg is no longer. And it was interesting because we drove back by it one time and the land was for sale and then it got sold. It had some of the most incredible views of Mount LeConte from that cabin. But anyway, 20th anniversary, gonna be over there in Myrtle Beach. And so it'll be pretty cool. Let's see. I hiked 400 miles on the Appalachian Trail a few years ago and saw some areas where there was just so much used toilet paper. It looked like snow. I just don't get it. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not like a real, yeah. So like if you're Mr. Carlos, if you're outdoorsman and do that, like we figure there would be, I think they make the biodegradable or there's some other way like, to clean up your mess or pack it up or doing something. But yeah, I agree. If it's not, and that would be, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Great live stream as always. I appreciate it. Rita, again, amazing job on getting the answer right. I am super impressed. It looks like you are in first place with the trivia on the posts for the pictures. I'll have to come up with something else and see. Another great live stream on Mountain Man Monday. As always, have a great week, everyone. Yes. Good night, Mom and Dad. I love you. Everyone go and have a wonderful week and be safe out there. See you next Monday. Always check the community tab for times. Yes, and using the recommendation Rita and others have mentioned for anybody who's made it to the end here or is listening in the background, this live stream is every Monday evening. I do post on the channel about what time, but in general, East Coast time, it falls somewhere between 6 and 9 p.m. to start. If you're subscribed, you will get the notifications. Happy anniversary. Hope you have a great one. Yes, that's next month. Have a great week. Yes. Looking forward to your new video that will be upcoming. Absolutely. New place for new memories. Yes, it will be. Thank you. Hey, Christina. Great live stream as always. Thank you and congratulations on your 20th. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Big Daddy. AZ Rock, thanks for another great live stream. Everyone have a great week. Be safe. Happy anniversary and congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't YouTube works that big. Oh, okay. Love chatting, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. You all have a wonderful, safe, happy week. Enjoy the summer. Check out the new video that'll be coming out here shortly on the channel. And then we'll see you next Monday. You all have a wonderful week. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time.